During our stay in Anacortes, Washington this past June, we decided to take a ferry to San Juan Island and spend a few hours exploring. We visited nearby Orcas Island a couple of times, another island in the San Juan Islands archipelago, but had yet to see San Juan. We figured there was no better time than a beautiful summer day to finally see this popular travel destination. We reserved our ferry tickets the day before on Washington State Ferry's website and showed up an hour before departure. We brought a picnic lunch with us, some extra layers since June mornings can be chilly in the Puget Sound, and our hiking boots. We planned to spend about 5 hours on the island. Our main goal was to take a hike on San Juan Island, see Friday Harbor, and, with whatever time we had left over, see more of the island. We enjoyed walking around the ferry, taking in the views from various decks. About an hour into the ride, we could see Friday Harbor and its marinas. Around 20 minutes later, we pulled into the ferry landing. I could immediately see why San Juan Island is so popular. The charm factor is high. After disembarking, we drove through the town to check it out. We passed by many small shops, art galleries, inns, cafes, and restaurants. We don't shop beyond necessities very often, as we don't have the space for extra things while living in a 30-foot airstream. Instead, we decided to use our time to check out San Juan Island National Historic Park. We had a few hiking options, but decided to start here since it was closest to Friday Harbor and had beaches to explore. On our drive there, we spotted Bakery San Juan. We are sourdough bread fanatics, especially Bill, so anytime we visit a new place, we are always on the lookout for bread bakeries. We may not have room for souvenirs, but we always have room for sourdough. Soon we were off to San Juan Island National Historic Park, which includes two different sites, the American Camp and the English Camp. We chose to hike the American Camp. We parked in the visitor center lot and went inside for some information. With a trail map in hand, we were soon on our way. This park commemorates the little-known Pig War, a boundary dispute between American and British forces in the mid-1800s that also involved a conflict over a pig. The conflict was eventually resolved without violence. The park was established in 1966 and covers roughly 2,150 square miles between the two camps. We hiked through a grassy field, and before long we could see the blue waters of the Strait of Juan de Fuca. There are 3 historic buildings on the American campsite of the park, including the laundress quarters, which we passed. Eventually, we came to a sign that read Grandma's Cove. Being a grandma myself, I had to see it. Grandma's Cove is a small beach accessible right off the main path, with stairs leading down to the shore. We later heard that it's a great beach for swimming, as the water is shallow and protected, making it warmer and calmer than other parts of the island. It was the first of several beaches we saw on our hike.
Are you a grandma?
I am grandma.
Let's check out what she's talking about.
We continued our hike along the bluff trail. As we walked, the cliffs grew steeper. We passed a few coves we could look down upon, each with beaches covered in driftwood that had floated over from the Olympic Peninsula across the strait. Eventually, we descended from the bluffs. To our left, we noticed a narrow path leading uphill. Curious about what could be seen from the top, I decided to follow it. What I found was a big, grassy field. In the opposite direction of the path was South Beach. Since it was time for lunch, we decided to find a big log to sit on and enjoy the views of the Strait of Juan de Fuca and the Olympic Mountains. The weather was just perfect, sunny with a cool ocean breeze. We couldn't have asked for better hiking weather.
We're on South Beach, and it's part of the San Juan Islands National Historic Park. And we're currently looking for a place to have a picnic. So we were thinking maybe one of these bleached out logs, maybe a big rock somewhere. The search continues.
After eating part of our lunch, along with some delicious sourdough, we decided to head back. Although we were retracing our steps, everything looked different on our return hike. We discovered a patch of wild bustard flowers and some granite boulders. Near the end of our hike, we were rewarded with an extra special surprise, a rainbow cloud, also known as an iridescent cloud. It occurs when light is diffracted due to water droplets or ice crystals. We had never seen one so big and vibrant before. This rainbow cloud was such a cool surprise. Have you ever seen one of these before? We returned to our truck, ready to see more of this scenic island. We took a right out of the American camp to check out Cattle Point on the southern tip of the island. We passed a small lighthouse, a lovely neighborhood with beautiful homes, and saw a stunning view of a snow-capped mountain and a lookout point with a California poppy-covered hillside. With some time left before we needed to queue up for the ferry, we decided to return to the lookout point. Plus, we were hungry again. Bill grabbed our beach chairs and we set them up to enjoy another gorgeous view of San Juan Island while we finished the rest of our picnic.
All right, I think we found a good spot for lunch. There she is.
Hello. This is much better.
You have a pretty good spot there?
Yeah. Make sure you check out all the California poppies.
Bring those beach chairs everywhere.
And the mountains. Don't forget the mountains.
Before we knew it, it was time to head back to the ferry terminal. We got in line, paid the fare, then went for a walk around the marina area until our ferry arrived. Once we boarded, we went upstairs to look at the marinas below and watch the rest of the passengers and vehicles load onto the boat. The sun was shining with no clouds in sight on our return to Anacortes, which made for some great views of the mountains. We returned to Anacortes, happy that we took the time, effort, and expense to see San Juan Island. We hope to return someday and spend some time getting to know this lovely island better. Have you been to San Juan Island before? Or maybe you've visited other islands in the San Juan archipelago? Let me know in the comments, and thanks so much for watching.